We'll press that once. We'll press it again, and now we've got the Cupra logo on the dash, and things have got more interesting. I put my foot down now, and there's noises, and this car becomes fast. It becomes really, really fast, naughtily fast in fact. Good morning guys, and welcome back to Damo Drives, bringing real reviews to real people and answering some of those questions other channels might not talk about. When I heard the news that Seat weren't building any more performance cars, I was really surprised. I thought the Seat Cupra brand was doing amazingly well. I remember back in 2000 when the Seat Cupra Leon VZ2 came out, that looked amazing. Had a big body kit and bigger wheels, big exhaust, and it had the performance to back that up with a 1.8 litre turbocharged engine with 180 brake horsepower. Since that point, things have gone from strength to strength. The cars have got really fast in comparison to where they were then. It's got a number of Nürburgring lap time records. So what on earth is going on? And you may be questioning as well, what is that? That is a brand new Seat Cupra Leon Estate. And I thought I told you that that thing didn't exist. I really need to explain myself in this video. I'm going to give you a politician's answer at the moment. That car exists and it doesn't exist. But unlike a politician, I'm actually going to explain my answer over the course of this video. And the fact I've got this Seat Cupra Leon Estate 310, it would be rude not to take it out for a bit of a drive. Hendy, Seat and Brian have given it to me for the weekend, and I've always thought that, well, Estates are the sensible version. They're family friendly, they're big and practical, but not always that fun. But before we answer the two questions of what on earth is that and how fun is an Estate, please click on the subscribe button, notification bell, and you'll be alerted when new videos come out. So let's explore this car that doesn't really exist. Now, before we get going with this video, I want to give you a very, very small amount of history behind Seat, because I think it's important to understand where they are today and how they got there. Don't worry, it's not going to be a complete history of the company, so you don't need to click off the video. So back in '96, that was a really important year for the company. They released their first ever Cupra road car, but strange enough, it didn't have the name Cupra in it at all, and that was the Seat Ibiza GTI 16 valve Sport, and they also entered the F2 Rally Championship, which they only went and won, and then they won again the next year and the following year. And after that, they won 11 Rally Championships, 2 FIA World Touring Car Championships, and currently compete in the British Touring Cars. So you can see the importance of motorsport to Seat. Move on a few years to 2018, that's when the big change happened. Seat had a new CEO. He had worked at Fiat and was responsible for the split of Fiat and Abarth. And he did exactly the same thing with Seat and Cupra. Cupra now is a completely separate company in its own right. They want the Cupra brand to have its own identity, its own DNA. So that is why this car exists. It's not a Seat Cupra, it's just a Cupra. So back to the Cupra range, you can still get cars from Seat, which are also Cupra variants. So you have got the Leon, you have got the Leon Estate, you've also got the Ateca. But if you want a sports version of it, come across to Cupra and they can give you a sporty version that looks good and has the performance to match. There are also two models which are unique just to Cupra. We have the brand new electric Born, which I should get my hands on in March, and we also have the Cupra Formentor, which is an SUV, and I have reviewed the PHEV version of it, so I'll put a card up there if you're interested in it. So there we go, that's the history behind Seat and Cupra and what's going on with this. Hopefully I've answered the question so you understand who Cupra are. But on to the next part of the video is understanding this particular car, the Cupra Leon Estate 310. Now for me, I thought, well, an estate car is really when you've got to have a compromise because you need more room. But this has got a Cupra badge on it. As I said, motorsport was important. So why has that got a Cupra badge on it? Can you have a fun, practical car that drives well and puts a smile on your face? Well, we should find out very soon. Let's have a look around the car, inside, outside, and go for a bit of a drive around the local countryside. There's some amazing roads, and if this is a driver's car, which I'm hoping it is, it should put a big smile on my face. This Cupra Leon 310 Estate is the mid-range spec VZ2 with optional magnetic grey paintwork. The Cupra badge sits proudly in the middle of the grille. Sharp lines give the car a slightly more aggressive look. LED headlights and integrated daytime running lights are standard and make the car look very modern. 19-inch black and silver alloys with 235/35 profile tyres. As standard, Cupra brakes with 340mm disc up front, 310 at the rear. If you go for the top of the range VZ2, they're fitted with Brembos as standard. Nice curves and strong swage lines break up the side profile of the car. Privacy glass for passengers and black roof rails give a bit more practicality. Coast-to-coast rear lights add to the design of the back. A large Cupra badge, which is also how you open the boot, and the name Cupra in large letters rather than Leon as you'd find on the back of the Seat Leon. The boot is so important, and with 620 litres it's a very good size, and considering the hatch has 380. But bear in mind the hybrid version is reduced to 470 litres. It's a flat floor which is great for loading, and lift it up and you'll find a spare wheel. In the back, the seats are comfortable, a central armrest with cup holders, controls for the climate control and ISOFIX make it a comfortable and practical place to be. Being 6 foot, I had a good amount of headroom, legroom, and my feet could fit under the driver's seat easily. So overall, it looks good and it's pretty practical. I've started the engine pressing this start button on the right. The digital instrument clusters come on and you can customize that really nicely. Press this view button and you can cycle through different screens. You can change what you see in the middle using this little arrow here and the wheel. So you might want to see all about the car or driving data, map. Really easy to use that. The infotainment system, 10-inch screen as seen on the rest of Seat models, and also obviously Cupra. Mixed feelings about that. It's fine when you're sitting still, or you've got these buttons here and all these widgets go across. You've got these tiles and you can like double tap on it. So that's pretty easy. The only thing that's a bit frustrating is these slider panels, but I want to tell you about that a bit later on. So that's good. We've got nice copper accents everywhere. We've got the Cupra badge in the middle, and this is supposed to be an X, I've read, supposedly. Not sure, but it looks quite cool, whatever the reason. We've got a place here for my phone. Now this really bugs me, the fact you can't charge your phone wirelessly on here. VZ2, which is the one above this, it comes with it, and this one you have to plug it in with a cable, and my phone and a cable doesn't fit in there, so not exactly the best. But the overall cabin it's just really nice. I think the drive's going to be very, very exciting. So let's go for a bit of a drive and find out what this Leon Cupra Estate is really like. So welcome to the inside of the Cupra Leon 310 Estate. Why has this got a Cupra badge on it? What is that 310? What makes this car so special in terms of the Cupra Leon lineup? So what's under the bonnet? Under the bonnets we have the EA 888 engine found in the Golf R, the Cupra Formentor and Skoda Octavia VRS. It's a 2 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, 310 brake horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque, 60, 4.9 seconds. When you don't want to be hooning it around, you can press the Cupra button just a couple of times and go over into comfort. Now the steering is lighter, the throttle response is a lot more dumbed down, just everything is very sensible. That's the mode when you've got the family in the car. When you haven't got the family in the car, you find roads like this. You press the Cupra button a couple of times and now it's got firm, it's got angry. You can hear the sound. It's not real sound, it is pumped into the cabin, but does that matter? Absolutely not. It just means it's loud in here and quiet outside. It sounds a bit sort of V80 type thing. It's only a 4-cylinder on there, but never mind. Now, what's the handling like? These are twisty roads. I'm going to use the DSG box in its manual setting. We've got paddles behind the wheel and you just pull back and it drops a cog. Dual clutch means it's got a pretty fast gear changes and a rapid rate of acceleration. The Haldex all-wheel drive system is giving me a ton of confidence. It's wet, it's greasy, leaves on the road, it is winter, but the car is handling, whoa, a bit of slip there. This is a, it allows the car just to turn in, have a bit of, see it's sliding ever so slightly, 4-wheel drive picks it up and you're off. There are a number of different driving modes in here. In fact, there are hundreds of options. Let's have a look at those and you'll see what I mean. We press the little icon over here with the car, we go to driver profile. Admittedly, you'll only see 4 options on here. So we've got comfort, sport, Cupra and an individual mode. Now individual is the one I want to quickly go through. So we press that and we can press configure. Now this allows me to change the setup of the car to exactly how I want it to be. We've got dynamic chassis control on here, so that's DCC. 15 settings on there, 15? That's pretty mad. We've got everything from really soft and not quite wallowy, but just relaxed, all the way up to chiropractor mode. I mean Cupra mode. So you've got that option. And for these sort of B roads, you probably do want it in sport rather than Cupra, because these roads are rubbish. They're very undulating and bumpy, and you want a bit of travel on the suspension just to keep things in check. It's not great. The other options as well, we can change how the all-wheel drive system's feeling, the steering, the engine sound, ACC. Never understood air conditioning, but we've got it in comfort, whatever that possibly might mean. So it's a very customizable car. We've got a 10.25 inch digital cockpit here. You can customize that. There's loads and loads of different things on there. Probably too much, to be honest. I'm just leaving it with this more traditional analog look here. We've got the map in the middle and you can customize that. Got a view button over here and that's pretty simple. The infotainment system is, I've got mixed opinions about this now. It was especially last night when I was using this car that there's a big problem with this, and I've no idea why it's done like this, but we've got touch buttons under here for your temperature. You can slide your finger and that is it. It changes it and changes the speed of the blower. Fantastic. But when it's dark, they're not illuminated. So you have no idea where this pad is at all. You have to poke around in the dark. it's just not very user-friendly whatsoever. The rest of the cabin is really well put together. I love the ambient lighting. You obviously can't see it at the moment, but you get strips across the front of the dash, down the doors, and at night it looks absolutely brilliant. You can customize that as well, so you can have different colors on this strip across the front and different on the door. It's just a nice place to be here. The other thing about this car is it's very safe. There's loads of airbags, you've got automatic braking, collision detection, cross traffic alert, blind spot monitoring. So there's a load of stuff which is going to keep you safe. There's other tech in here I love, which makes your journey more relaxing. We've got the active cruise control, self-steering. It's a very, very well appointed car, this. So it's not just a rocket ship, it's a comfortable, relaxing cruiser that you can do very, very long miles in on the motorway. And then when you want to have fun, press your Cupra button and you can zoom it around. But behind the wheel, it's a nice place to be because it is based on a normal Leon Estate car. It feels like a normal car. You're not slung flat on the floor really low like you would do with a sports car. It's easy to get in and out, great visibility out the front, but we have got these sports seats. They're quite hugging, there's nice side bolstering. There's not many adjustments on it, it's basically up and down and forwards and backwards, but you can adjust the steering wheel as well, so you can get in a good driving position. I think if you're after an estate with a bit of grunt, you would be a bit of a fool not to put this car on your shortlist. Certainly take it out for a drive because it is the Swiss Army knife of cars. I don't mean you get a knife, a bottle opener and a funny pick to take stones out of horses' shoes. I mean it does everything well. When you've got the family in the car, or you're going shopping, or you're just pottering around, it's a quiet, comfortable, relaxing cruiser. And at the press of a button, it turns into a Cupra in its loudest, shoutiest, angry setting just by pressing a small round button on the steering wheel. The car changes completely. It becomes fast. It becomes exciting. It's just a great, fun car to drive. And under £40,000, I think it's a good buy as well. It's around, I think, £1,000 or so cheaper than a Golf R Estate when that comes out. And the thing as well, Cupra it's a bit of an unknown in comparison really to a Golf. If you want something slightly different, then a Cupra very well might be a good choice for you. You see loads and loads of Golf Rs on the road, and there's nothing wrong with the Golf R whatsoever. You might want something slightly different. Cupra has all of the heritage, the knowledge that has been gained from the Golf R over the years and put into this. So there we go, that is my opinion of the Cupra Leon 310 Estate. It's brilliant. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Any comments are very, very welcome, and remember to click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.